Miss Porter. All right. Y'all both raise your right hand, sir, ma'am. Both of you raise your right hands. Swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Ma'am? Sir?
Yes.
Ma'am, take yourself off mute. I need an answer.
Yes.
All right. Maybe we should hear from Miss Millard first. I don't know what Mr. Shaw, Miss Porter,
Well,
what do y'all think?
Ms. Millard has been witness to a very material admission by the defendant, so that might not be a bad thing to get started with.
All
How
right.
about we get started with Mr. Monjanot does not live at, and he's just trying to inconvenience me.
So, Ms. Porter, how about we let me run my courtroom and I hear from Miss Millard first? She's an officer of the court. Go ahead, Miss Millard.
So prior to today, I had prepared all of my notes and I had concerns going into it, but I think the most material fact comes from our breakout room that we had earlier today, where Ms. Porter said that she planned to kidnap the child and leave the country and not return and claim asylum. And when Mr.
That's
Shaw,
absolutely not true. I tape everything. I tape everything.
I actually reiterated that statement to her.
Right here. Do not record. If
It
you're
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it
You
doesn't.
you have to read your emails.
Stand by. Miss Porter.
You have to read your emails.
No, Miss Porter, you don't tell me what to do. That says do not record. I have not signed a Rule 22. And if I find out I haven't signed an order allowing you to record and you record this, you will come in front of me on a contempt, which could incarcerate you for up to 20 days. This is the county of Fulton. This is the public's courtroom that they let me preside over. And you are going to do what I say. And one thing you're going to do is you're going to be quiet and you're going to let Ms. Millard talk. So if you're recording this, Ms. Porter, I suggest you stop right now.
I was referring to.
Go ahead, Ms. Millard.
I was.
Go ahead, Ms. Millard.
thank you, Your Honor. So in the breakout room, she said she was going to take the child and leave the country. And then Mr. Shaw said, wait, let me make sure I understand, repeated the statement to her. She confirmed that, yes, she said that she plans to take the child, leave the country, and claim asylum. I have other concerns on top of that, but honestly, I think that's probably the most concerning right now. I can get into the other ones, but like I said, that's the most concerning for the immediate issue.
Mr. Shaw, anything?
Yeah, the basis for our claim is a commission of a felony. She was supposed to keep the child in Florida, or she had custody for the summer till July 18th. She did not return the child. She was in Florida. We'll present her text messages with the date showing she's still in Florida as of July 25. So she committed the felony of interstate interference of custody / C-2 part of the statute. Thereafter, she finally returned the child and custody parenting time resumed. Then on August 12th, she refused to return the child to Mr. Mangineth again. She refused to put the child in school. The police came and she refused to give the child back to the police. The police, there's a report will indicate, saw that they thought she was not mentally well. It wasn't until August 17th that after the TPO was served on her and she had held Wyatt out of school during that period of time that Mr. Mangineth got his child back. And we are asking for a protective order on the basis of the felony and now the threat of kidnapping, which I believe is another felony. And this isn't a first-time issue. She has done this before in the past. In fact, we were in front of you back in February or March of 2021 when she accused my client of sexually molesting and physically harming Wyatt. She ended up dismissing that TPO because of no evidence, and actually the police report and the pediatrician refuted her claims. And the judgment and decree that was found by Fulton County Superior Court after a full hearing stated she has a problem with the truth and should not have the child for extended periods. All this behavior is consistent. And so what I'm going to do is just put my client up, put up the text messages real quick. And we're asking for a restraining order. I do not believe it's safe for this child to be with her, both because she's a flight risk, as she's specified, and because we don't know what she's telling this child anymore.
I will also add, I forgot to tell you, I've reviewed the psych eval that because the child is 7 with autism and ADHD. So I reviewed the child's psych eval eligibility report, OT assessment, the police reports from the incident in Florida, the final decree, and then a contact log, among other things, from the elementary school. And based on, so, and this is all one-sided because mom hadn't even talked to me prior to this, but based on what I saw just from, like, setting aside anything that dad told me, from what I reviewed, I had concerns about allowing the child to go with mom for any amount of visitation at this point, given what I've learned in the newness of the case. But the allegation, the statements during the breakout room caused me additional significant concern.
Right, Mr. Shaw, you want to call your client first, or?
Yeah, I'll put up Mr. Man. For Shayla, could you pronounce your name for us? So I'm sure I'm getting it wrong as well.
Sure. Shailesh.
Shailesh. Okay. Do I have Manjunath right?
Yeah, Manjunath.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shaw.
All right. I'm going to first show you a text message. Let me get it open here. Let's see. Okay, first, you guys each filed criminal interference with custody against each other in 2021, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And that had to do with the mess out of a remitter. Was it returned or not from the appellate court? And you guys settled that matter, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And during that settlement, she got parenting time up through July 18th, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And then she was supposed to return the child to you thereafter, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Now there's multiple emails, but I think we just need to put up the ones that prove the case. Let's see if I get this whole thing. Well, I could scroll through it. Let me, okay, hit share screen. Oops, hold on. Let me put this on a different page. I have too many screens open. Let me stop share. Sorry about this, Your Honor. I haven't used this computer before for it.
That's okay.
Yeah, where's that stop share? Oh, I haven't shared anything yet.
No, not yet. No.
All right, so let me move it, open it and move it to a different screen. All right, yeah, now I'm working with multiple monitors like a real computer nerd. All right. See if I could find it now. All right, there it is. And all right, you got, oh, damn it. Okay, let's one more time. There we go. Do you guys see that?
No, it's still you. But
Okay, I got to hit share. There we go.
there you go.
Okay, I have this marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 24, and don't worry about the numbers. I just had a problem with my numbering system resetting it.
All right.
Mr. Manjunath, could you identify this text message and the dates? I mean, they're dated, but just the year as well.
Yes.
Okay, what is this text message? First, who's it between?
So it's
And what-
between, yeah, me and Miss Porter. So I was trying to get the child back because he was supposed to be returned on 7/18 as per the agreement from the summer parenting time that we set for during the mediation and what was agreed upon in the mediation agreement as part of the criminal warrant case that was settled. So I was trying to get the child back, and like I kept trying, and finally was returned on 28, 10 days later. And she kept on insisting, giving reasons that she's being investigated by the Florida
Well, hold on,
CPS.
we'll get into that. I just want to go on this document. All right.
Yeah.
So These are communications from July 22nd through July 25th of 2022, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, and so first we did a tender 24.
Any objections to 24? You're on mute, Ms. Porter.
I've stated my objection. This doesn't mean anything. I don't, first, the parallel evidence is not appropriate. He's talking about orders here and departmental things. He can't give testimony when official reports would do. I could just say there's a warrant out for his arrest.
People do that all the time. It's a text message he's testifying about.
Yes, he's texting. It doesn't say, it says my name, but it doesn't identify me. And he's talking about, he wants you to, so it's hearsay. I don't say that it's me. And in this court, in this very court, he has been caught fabricating text messages. Now, I would like my objection to be heard. You've heard it by Bradley, what's my attorney's name? McDonald. Just a few months ago, Shaw pulled the same thing. It's been over 30 days. He has to refile.
No, ma'am, we started the hearing. Once we started.
I made the objection last time.
Denied.
This is why I record things. This is why I record things.
Your objection was denied. We started the hearing. It's good. Evidence is admitted. Objection overruled. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
All right, and in the middle here, she is testifying about, we're still waiting for Atlanta PD to make a welfare check to ensure the children arrive safely to Atlanta. Florida can then release the case to Atlanta and close it in Florida. And then on the 25th, you wrote back, please exchange wide. He was supposed to be returned back in 7/18/22, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, to your knowledge, was she still in Florida at this point in time?
Yes,
Even as a 7/22 would have been 4 days beyond her time, parenting time, correct?
correct, yes.
And 7/25 would have been a week beyond parenting time, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, when did she actually finally return Wyatt to you?
On July 28th.
July 28th. All right, so that's 24. Now, you guys.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What does this have to do with the TPO? Because the last time you said you are not afraid of me harming Wyatt or beating him or taking him out of the state. I have it on video. I record everything.
That's not for me to explain my legal argument to you. You can
No,
argue your case in your end.
I'm asking you a question.
You
I do
can't
not
ask
need to
Mr. Shaw a
respond to it.
question. He's the lawyer. Please go ahead and he's in the middle of his direct examination of his client, Ms. Porter. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw. And if your objection is relevant, it's overruled. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
All right, just give me a second. I'm trying to just get the key communications here.
It's just that he talked about missing school and now it's changed. So what is the basis for this protection order? It has not been articulated.
That is what they're trying to do, Ms. Porter, if you would let him finish. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
All right. just
But
moving
is
to
it
the
not
front
supposed to
screen.
have been documented? Do I not have anything to prepare?
Ms. Porter, I don't understand what you're saying. Mr. Shaw is going to present his case, then you'll get to present your side. Go
But
ahead, Shaw.
Okay.
What is the basis?
Ms.
see,
Porter.
Are we just
Exhibit-
finding a claim in the middle of this?
Porter, he is explaining the basis. If you would please
What
pay.
was the basis for the temporary order that made this possible? I thought it was something else. I was told it was something else. What is it?
All right, do you see Plaintiff's Exhibit 16?
I do. Go ahead.
All right, this was and you could confirm for me, Mr. Mangineth, this was the memo of understanding where you both settled your respective criminal interference of custody actions, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And this was entered as a modification of the parenting plan for the summer of 2022, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right, and it says here, mother shall have the child from July 1 to July 18th, correct?
That's correct. Yes,
And she kept the child above and beyond that, correct?
that's correct. Yes,
And you were to have the child from July 18th to July 31, correct?
correct. Yes,
And you didn't get him till July 28th, correct?
that's correct.
All right, we tender points as exhibit 16.
Looks like it's a document of the court. I'll take judicial notice. It's admitted.
Okay. Let me find the next document here. While I'm doing this, you could explain to the court. Now, what happened beginning August 12th in regards to your parenting time with Wyatt?
Yeah, on August 12th, so, school started on August, I believe, 8th or 9th, that Monday. And then I had him from Monday to Wednesday. And Wednesday, like, she was supposed to pick him up from school, but she did not. So school called me, ended up picking him up from school, and asked her if she wants to come and pick him up for parenting time. She did not. So I ended up keeping him. And Thursday is when her boyfriend came and picked our son from school. And after that, he was never sent to school the Friday, because Friday I was supposed to again pick him up for my parenting time. So he was never sent to school on Friday. The following Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, after the TPO was served, is when I got the child back and was able to send him back to school.
Okay, I'm going to show points as exhibit 20. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, could you identify that document?
Yes, this is a text message between me and Ms. Porter.
All right, and first we tender points as 20.
Any objections?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear him.
I'm tendering
Does
points
it
as 20.
There's no identification of who this is. Is this Valerie Porter? What is this? I object to the authenticity. I also object to the content is not relevant to a Florida investigation. I don't understand how this ties into. He's not allowed to file modifications anymore because he's filed several, and he's trying to do a runaround.
All right, well,
It's admitted. Go ahead.
all right, and on this would have been Wednesday, confirm for me, because the 12th was Friday of 13th.
That is, let me check. I think, yes, let me check.
So this would have been Wednesday, the 17th. This would be Wednesday, the 17th.
Yeah, the day, this was, may I know why, the FaceTime thing was Tuesday night.
Okay, and on here, you're asking her, may I ask why Wyatt is not in school today? Can I FaceTime with him?
Yeah, that was on August 16th, the Tuesday.
And her response was, you refused to-
Objection. Where does that say August 16th? It can say these can be dated. We can't. You need to actually submit the dated ones. This is parallel evidence.
It's not. It is not. He has laid the foundation. Go ahead.
No, it's not. This is technically Wednesday, so that means just a couple days ago.
All right, now she responded back to your request. Why is he not?
Do you
in
understand what
school?
I'm saying? That does not say that date.
On Wednesday, you refused to make any arrangement that would make that possible, correct?
Correct.
All right, he did not show up for school until you got him back, correct, from the
That
sheriff?
is correct. Yes. Yes.
Do you know what she was talking about when she says you refused to make any arrangements that would make that possible?
I mean, I guess she was mad that, school was chained, and like she was trying to like negotiate for me to send him to the old school, which I kept telling her, like, I moved residences. I cannot really send him to that school and they will not take him. And I'm just following the final divorce decree, which states that he needs to go to the school in where dad resides.
All right, now, has she in the past held Wyatt out of school in a similar manner?
Yes.
When was that?
It's been multiple times, sometimes on the pretext that he's sick when he's not sick, or stating that COVID or others in the household has COVID. Sometimes it's just been like more one last year, it was when she made like false allegations, denied her appeal.
Has she taken the child out of state in the past and refused to return him on time?
Yes, she has.
When was that?
That was again in summer of 2020. She took him to like Florida, and we had to file a emergency
Objection.
motion
This has
to
been
get the child
litigated.
back.
I prevailed. Just
I am-
stop it.
I'm just putting this in to show its repeated behavior. and
Yeah,
it's
but
likely
I
to happen
prevailed.
again.
I prevailed on that. He was shown to be a liar. It was another stop it. Stop it.
So the,
So this is something you expect. will be
Go
repeated
ahead,
in the future,
please.
Mr. Mangineth?
yeah, this has been a repeated behavior. Whenever I send a child, I do not know if he'll be sent to school. If I do not know if he'll come back for my parenting time. I just have to live in that fear of like, how do I get my son back? And it's just hard. And it's been like 3 years on this parenting plan. It's hard to make Ms. Porter follow a basic parenting plan, let alone like, being paid child support or make attempts to attend co-parenting sessions or apply for a passport for our son. It's just hard to like get her to follow just like basic parenting schedule or send him to like
Well,
school.
let me ask you, we're in a TPO case. Now in Florida, when she was there in July, the police,
Objection. How would Mr. Monch not know I'm in Florida? I don't understand. There's
Since
no foundation for it.
when she was in Florida, did she communicate to you that the police got involved?
Yeah,
with
she
her
sent
and
an
your
email.
son?
Yeah, there's a
Alright.
police report which says that she is in Florida.
All right, and
Where's that police report? Objection. Hearsay.
did that investigation involve?
Objection. Hearsay.
Did that investigation involve issues regarding passports and international travel issues?
Yes,
All right, that's consistent with the threat that you didn't hear that today, but Ms. Millard and I heard today that she would seek asylum elsewhere and take your son, correct?
that's correct.
Ms. Millar, you need to tell the truth. I record everything.
All right, Your Honor, that's our case.
Are you recording now? Why do you have your phone up?
I'm just gonna read something.
Okay.
all right,
But you should probably assume that someone's recording it. Is it not closed captioned or whatever?
no, but you see this little note, do not record. And there is no rule 22 that has been.
But it does appear, Marcy, is that your name? Marcy?
Here's what I'm gonna do, because no, what you need to do, Ms. Porter, is to be quiet. I'm going to walk away for a second because I need a few minute break.
I need you to read that email. It was about you recusing yourself, which you may need to do.
I will admit she sent me a threatening email last week.
What was it? Read it.
I will read it in the future if necessary.
Read it right now. You sent me a threatening letter and a picture with me and my rapist. You're done with, Shaw. I was gonna let you out of this.
More
You have
threats?
no idea, none, what even this is about. You're a lunatic.
And who would your rapist be?
Jackson Alley, of course.
Who?
Jackson
Jackson?
Alley, you've called him as a witness.
Jackson Alley raped you. When?
I can't believe that you're
When did
playing this
Jackson
game.
Alley rape you?
I cannot believe you're playing this game. He raped me after that man brought him over here.
When was that?
Guys, this is all being live streamed. Are you sure you want to
Oh,
continue?
I'm good with
He
it.
took a guilty plea. Look it up. You don't have to ask me questions.
When did he rape you?
You don't have to look it up. Look it up. Did you not call him as a witness to intimidate me?
When did he rape you?
I've sent all the proof. You're ridiculous. I have never said that I was asylum. I said I have a humanitarian. I have a humanitarian visa. And of course I do.
You'll get your chance to cross-examine Mr. Mangineth. I am done talking with you.
He knows he's in a world of trouble. He's said that he's gonna blame it on you. I will get a retrieval team. Shane, you absolutely know that this is an end. It's over. It's over. What you did with Jackson, it's over, Shane. You don't know why it was such a big deal, but it is. You don't know why that everyone cares, but they will. And I tried to help you keep out of the spotlight.
All right.
All
So,
right.
Go
Go ahead.
ready, or he's ready to be cross-examined.
Charlotte, where do you live?
I just sold my house, so I moved to 45 by.
When did you move?
Sorry?
When did you move?
No, it's been
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the relevance. If she wants to file contempt in the 30-day notice, that's fine, but that's nothing to do with these proceedings.
No, I'm asking.
Oh,
when
no,
did you
I'm going to do
move?
my job, Miss Porter.
Because
What
on
that
his application, he had one
Porter,
address.
you are going to let me talk. I don't care when he moved.
He
If that's
doesn't
something,
want.
Miss Porter, if that is something in the divorce, you can file a contempt in that. Right now, there's a
What are you talking
protective
about?
place, and I am not going to make him divulge where he's living under the guise of there being a protective order in place. Next question.
The question has to do with, did you tell me that you moved and that Wyatt changed school?
That does not matter under this, ma'am. That would be under
How
your.
does that not matter? He's trying to say that I didn't take Wyatt to
No,
school.
Mr. Shaw's objection is sustained. Next question.
Did you present an obstacle to me taking Wyatt to school?
No, you had him with you. You could have always taken him to school. You know where his school was.
Did you refuse to tell me your address so that we could make an exchange?
No, you know.
Did you refuse to pick your son up from my house?
The court order says that the exchange has to be a public place, which has to be in between both our residences. So I'm not going to come to your place.
Did you refuse to go to a public space?
I did not refuse.
All right, since Mr. Shaw lied to me about all of this, I will have to take some time and look through all this garbage. And if you're going to legally hold the hearing, I'm going to ask for a continuance, because this is he moved. He did not tell me. I will have to call. I will call the Wyatt's social worker. Wyatt's social worker advised me not to take him to school because Shane has previously, as Shaw has been
Ms. Porter, do you have any more questions for him?
I request time.
If you have questions for him, ask questions, please.
Mr. Shaw gave me completely different evidence and not this. I'm just requesting time to find emails to show him.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He said that he did not refuse to go to a public place. I wish to dispute that.
Well, present your evidence when it's your turn. Right now, do you have any questions for him? Not Mr. Shaw.
I want to ask him, so I don't have to get him to authenticate anything.
You can't ask Mr. Shaw any questions. You can ask Mr. Shaw.
I am asking him. What do you mean?
Ask a question. Ask a question, please.
I've asked you a question for continuance. If you won't address the fact that this is over 30 days and not lawful.
Denied. We
Okay.
started the hearing. I put Ms. Millard in place to do something because I didn't want to bring this child in here and put this child.
I checked and you were incorrect. I was not served. I apologize. There is a delay. I don't know when I'm interrupting you.
Ask your next question, ma'am.
All right, I'll show you a video. Have you ever tried to kidnap Wyatt while he was at my house?
No,
Do you have a girlfriend?
I object to the relevance of girlfriend.
Not relevant.
I'll show you a video and I'm gonna ask you, you're in it. And it includes a woman who forced her way into my home and tried to, and explicitly stated that she wanted to see if you can, I'm gonna see if you can recall this. You were pretty intoxicated, you might not.
Well, I'm going to object to the video unless it shows specifically, not just that he might have a girlfriend, but it shows the woman doing what she alleges she's doing.
Sorry, what's the objection?
Judge,
Tell me
did you
what
understand?
this video is going to show. Before you show it, tell me what this video is going to show.
It's about a 2-minute video. I've submitted it. You guys had it for about 3 weeks.
I do not look.
It shows a woman that that Shane lives with, and that said she was going to kill me, which backs up my claim. And then Shane also agrees he's going to kill me in front of Wyatt while they try and take Wyatt. And then she breaks into my house and I try to stop her. I'm wearing a heart monitor because I was suffering from COVID. And this is just one example of the things I live with all the time.
Well,
And
does the video demonstrate any of this, or does it just show that he has a girlfriend that may live with him?
it demonstrates it all.
What
And then
exactly?
there's an email.
Does this show him doing anything?
Yes, it shows him, and then it shows. I want to show an email where he describes what happened, so that I can show you. I said that he has an alcohol problem. I can show you the difference between what his memory is of it and what actually transpired, which is stark. My life is threatened. If you're not interested in my life being threatened, I will say that 3 years ago, I was not able to get a restraining order against a stalker who pled guilty to 7 aggravated assaults.
Okay, stop.
And this ended up.
If this has nothing to do with this case, I don't want it. This case, please, this case. If you have a question for him, please ask it. If you have evidence that you're going to show something you need Mr. Shaw to see, send it to him so that he can look at it.
He's had it available for well over.
Do you have it? Do you know what she's talking about?
No, I have.
He's
I do
seen
not.
it. My attorney sent it to him. He knows exactly. He doesn't want you to see it.
You don't have an attorney, and I've received no exhibits from you.
Yes, you from Mark Shaw. I mean, Mark Lebacken. I also sent it to Marcy. Marcy, you've got it.
Well, Marcy can maybe comment on it. I haven't seen it.
Marcy, do you have any idea what it is she's talking about?
I received a video like while we were in the hearing. I think I know what she's talking about. It appears to show dad's girlfriend, dad and dad's girlfriend on a porch.
I uploaded it. It's in the shared file.
I don't
I
look
thought
at
we were
evidence.
allowed to do that. I'm sorry. Are we?
Nope, I don't look at evidence. Stop talking. I don't look at evidence until it's presented to the court. Please let Ms. Millard finish.
So it shows dad and girlfriend on what I
Objection. How do we know he's a girlfriend? It's a girlfriend.
Oh, dear God, you said she's a girlfriend.
I'm just saying how ridiculous it is.
I guess I'm not sure the purpose of it. It shows dad and girlfriend on what I assume to be mom's front porch based on the recording and things that mom is saying. Mom is taking the recording. There are children that are pictured in the video. I'm not sure.
Oh, you don't remember when she says, "I'm gonna kill you," and I'm so rich, bitch. I'm so rich. I'm gonna kill you. You don't remember that?
Then it was a different
wonderful.
video.
No. Okay.
I mean, she may have uploaded a different one. The only one that I saw was that one. And like I said, it was coming during the hearing, so I may not have seen it.
Is that relevant to have someone?
I'll watch the video, play it. Play it. Go ahead and play it.
You know what? Take him on a vacation. I want you to get off my property right now.
You're not sharing your screen. All I see is you.
I want you off my property right now. Why are you?
I don't see a video, ma'am. All I see is you. You're not sharing your screen.
Right light in my eyes.
Ma'am, you are not sharing your screen. All I see is you.
Excuse me, how do you share your screen?
There's a share screen down there at the bottom. I cannot give you instructions on how to use Zoom, ma'am. I can't.
It says share screen. Now you can't see that.
It's sharing your screen.
It says it's sharing my screen now.
No, it wasn't. Go ahead. When was this taken? Give me some information. When was this taken?
This was taken a month and a half ago.
Who took the video?
I think I did. Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
You know what? Take him on a vacation. I want you to get off my property right now. I've never met you. I want you off my property right now. Why are you smiling like a psychopath? Off my property. Bright light in my eyes. You just came over and out of the blue walked into our house, banging on my bedroom door. I didn't bang on it. I have it recorded. Okay, well that's fine. I didn't come upstairs, so you didn't come upstairs. No, I didn't. What are you talking about? I walked past you upstairs. You told me not to stop and walk upstairs. We want you off the property right now. 911 has been called. Good, call them. Let's go. Let's talk about it. That's not how property works. Okay, we'll stay right here and let's talk about it. I want 911. Did you really call 911? Are you? Because why is this one on this trip with us? Because you've been neglecting him. What are you talking about? It's been 7 weeks since you talked to your child.
She's been sick with COVID.
Yeah, but she didn't talk to your child for 7 weeks. He's been very upset and crying to me about it. So tell me about it. Tell me. So he's been upset and crying? Yes. Good. Tell me all about it. You think you know what's going on? You think you know what's going on? I don't care what's going on. I don't like bright light being shined in my eyes. Then get off the property. You're not supposed to be on here. Well, my children are in your house. Because you brought them in, you lunatic woman. Okay.
Josie.
Child. You need to go. Child. Do not call my children child. Yes, you're being called a child. I'm glad that's on recording because that is crazy as shit. Lady. You are intoxicated. You are very clearly intoxicated. Oh, okay. That's fine. I can't wait. So I'm waiting for the police to come. We're gonna wait right out the gate for the police to come. And this is what you put your children through.
Ms. Porter, I'm going to interrupt you. I didn't hear anybody threaten your life.
Here, you were talking in the middle of it.
Oh, I'm talking.
No, when you just said I'm going to interrupt you, that's what you said.
Okay, well, rewind it and let me hear where she says I'm going to kill you. Just take it back. It don't need to go all the way, just a little bit then.
All right, put your earphones in.
I don't have headphones. I got a speaker. Just.
I got confirmation that it's very easily heard.
I don't know who gave you confirmation, but
You're saying you don't hear that woman say that she's going to kill me.
No, ma'am, I didn't, and I don't hear, and she's not a party to this either way, but I don't hear him say anything. So where's he saying anything?
The point is, I'm going to ask him about an email to show you this is how he distorts situations. Now, I have had this transcribed. Had I known that this hearing was going to be illegal, I could have had an expert. He does. I will play it again, please.
Ma'am, I'm listening. I promise you, I am listening.
Okay, what did you just hear?
I didn't hear anything, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Ask your next question. I didn't hear anything. Ask your next question.
What an absurdity. Okay. I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna get a piece of evidence.
You have another question for him? Go ahead.
I do. I'm looking for another piece of evidence. Remember the email?
I have no idea what email you're talking about, but do you have a question for him while you're looking for that?
So who is that woman? Do you recognize her?
Yes.
Did you bring her to my home?
Okay, so it's kind of obvious that they walked there together and out together. Next question. I mean,
No, it wasn't obvious. She actually came over by herself. So I don't think it's obvious
Okay.
at all. I think I'd
so
like
how
her
did
to
he get?
answer.
Did he come up later?
Yeah,
Okay, so she
he
went
came
on.
to grab her.
Okay.
Are you aware that you have a restraining order where you're not allowed in my home?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So in the final parenting plan, have you ever read a passage that said you're not allowed in my home? You're restrained from coming into my home.
I do not know what you're talking about.
All right. Do I need
Uh,
to?
do-
Can
do I need
council
to-
stipulate to that?
Do I need to show videos like how many times you have come to
Does
my place?
council need to stipulate to that, or do I need to find the passage?
Do I need to show videos like how many times you have come to my house?
Stop
We live right next.
arguing. Stop arguing.
I've
Please.
asked a question. Will council stipulate to that there is an order? There is that it restrains each other from entering the household of another.
So I will, if there is, Mr. Shaw can answer it, but it's not called a protective order or a restraining order. It's language that's fairly common in a divorce.
It says both parties are restrained.
And that's typical in divorce cases. It's not a TPO like this.
I'm asking,
Mr. Shaw, is the typical, don't harass, is that in the?
is it typical for people to come into their house? You
Actually
seem to
have
really,
the-
really want to make excuses for this guy.
Actually, if she
I'm not
wants the
making
court,
excuses.
Can I come to your house and act that way?
if she wants the court to
Shailesh, can I come to your house and act that way?
Ms. Porter, are you threatening the court?
I'm asking Shailesh.
No, answer me. Did you just say that to me? Are you threatening this court?
With what? I don't even understand the
You
question.
said, can I come to your house? Was that directed at this court?
No, I said,
Okay,
Shailesh said,
There is standard language that's in divorce.
well, I appreciate that you see that as threatening. I appreciate that. I would like judicial
You
notice
just told me
that
you
that
were
was a
coming to
threatening
my
video.
house, Miss Porter. And you have no business here. That would be a threat to me. Ask your next question.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
Ask your next question.
No, I apologize. I did not catch that.
Okay, ask your next question.
All right, so are you aware that you should not come into my home by order of the court?
Does not say that. It's just a common language that's been put in there.
So you
Does not
believe
say-
that you are allowed to have entry into my home at will?
I'm gonna object. She was on the porch like any person could come and knock on the door.
No, I will go back to the video and show you where he is in the video. This is absurd.
I saw him. in the
I
video.
cannot even get this
I
man
have
to,
taken judicial notice. He was in the video. Next question, please.
Pardon? I didn't catch that.
Saw the video. He was in it. Next
No,
question.
he was in my home. He was in my home.
It appeared that they were all outside. I didn't see the inside of your house. Next question, please.
Well, then I will replay the video.
This was on your porch,
It was on my house.
outside on your porch.
No, he was inside my house. I will show the video again.
Wait, that was in your living room? What room in your house
Yes,
was that?
he was in
What?
my living room. 1 second, please.
Your Honor, I've been through the agreement and it just has the parties shall live separate and apart from one another and shall be free from interference, harassment, and molestation from the other.
So it is the standard divorce language.
Yeah, although she wants me to submit the J&D, it has detailed findings of her harassment and mental health issues in it. I would be happy to tender it as an exhibit.
I apologize. Did he just say that's my mental health?
I will let the J&D speak for itself.
Would you like for him to submit the order so the court can look at it?
I didn't understand the question.
Would you like for him to submit that order so that I can look at it?
For the purpose of that he's restrained from my house.
You want me to look at it?
Honestly, Judge, honestly, I feel like this is causing more conflict because I feel like you.
Ms.
I
Porter,
should be able
you're
to-
saying that there's something in the order that's restraining language.
No, can you not agree that that was inappropriate and that was wrong and that was high conflict? And that I felt threatened. Why is he allowed to come into my home whenever he wishes?
Would you like for Mr. Shaw to submit a copy of the order so that I can read that order to see the language that's in there?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, it's a-
Okay, Mr. Shaw, if you email me a copy of the order
You should already
separately.
have it as Exhibit 10.
All right, do you mind emailing it? If
Okay.
it was submitted to Ms.
I
Free.
also have it in my
Okay.
thing.
What is your direct email so I don't have to look it up?
Email it to Ms. Free. She'll email it to me.
I
Okay.
can email it to you. I have it.
Okay, there you go. Ms. Millard will email it to me. All right, so go ahead with your next question, Ms. Porter, while I get that so I can look at it. What's your next question, Fran?
All right, I'm going to show my screen again.
That's your desktop, ma'am. So just make sure you're sharing your screen. I don't want you to share something that you don't want to be sharing with the public. All right, so this is an email from, I see an email.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you
Mark,
recognize this email?
Oh, man, go back up to the top. Very top where it shows the addresses.
1 second. I gotta figure out how to move this.
All
now.
right. Your Honor,
There-
I'm going to object. This is from March of 2022. I'm not certain what relevance it could have to the events that happened starting in July of 2022.
Right, so hold on, Ms. Porter. Just tell me why this email is relevant.
It goes to his credibility as to how we saw the video and then this is how he describes it. Now, he has said he wasn't intoxicated. I said he was
Okay,
very
hold on.
intoxicated.
So hold on. So, Mr. Shaw, she's saying that this describes that video.
The dates
He
are,
knows, you know that it does. Stop.
Porter,
well, I don't know, maybe it does. Makes the
Our
video-
attorneys have already litigated it. Stop it. You're ridiculous.
Ms. Porter, if you could please. Okay, go ahead.
Well, let her
I'm
admit it. I don't.
I'm reading it, Mr.
I'm
Shaw.
better just being quiet here.
All right, I'm reading it. Okay, this is now, hold on, go down so I can see. This says Valerie, so this is him emailing you?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me read. Okay, okay. Okay, hold on one second. Don't move it yet. Hold on one second. Okay, you can go. Is there more beyond my lawyer correct? Is there more beyond that sentence? Scroll down if there's more. All right. Okay, and then is that the end of it, or is there more? Okay, I got it.
Okay, so has this, do you recall this?
Yes,
Okay, do you believe that accurately reflects the video?
we saw the video. There's nothing in the video. We just came to ask. It was my
Just
parenting
answer
time.
yes or no.
Yes,
How good is our relationship, Shailesh? If, for example, how would you describe it? Would you describe we're on good terms?
no,
Have you ever invited me over to your home?
Well, now you got to do that in a time frame, because ever made me yes. So you mean recently?
Ever?
Answer the question, yes or no.
no,
Have you ever asked Yuri and I, now you agree that Yuri, do you agree that Yuri is my partner? We have 3 children together.
I do not know about 3 children together.
Do you know Yuri Vala? The
Uh,
one he spoke here?
Yes,
Your Honor, I'm
I-
objecting to the
So-
relevance of any
So
of.
tell me how this person and that is relevant, please.
Because he says that, I'll read the email, okay?
But just tell me whether or not he knows that person is relevant, please, ma'am. Just answer my question.
Because I've asked about my relationship, and if Yuri's a man, I'm going to see if perhaps he has the same answer. If he is going to say, he said that he says here that he and Yuri are on very good terms. And I'm asking him if he is going to confirm that.
how is that relevant to this TP? I don't know. This
Well,
is
you don't
something
have
that happened in
to-
March.
It goes to your credibility.
Sir, do you get along with whoever that person is? Yes or no?
Have you ever told him to go fuck off?
Okay, that's not relevant. Move on to something between you and him, ma'am.
Have you been vulgar together?
Ma'am, I don't care about whoever this person is.
Did you say Mr. Vala warmly welcome us? And that was you. Do you admit in here that you came into my home? Is that correct? You read those words.
We came into your home because he welcomed us. He was the
Sir,
one who
He
said,
warmed you.
come and ask
He
you
warmly
because-
welcomed you into my home.
yes.
Next question.
What was the occasion that caused such a warm welcome?
Can we get back into like this TPO? Nothing in the past. This TPO, the events that led to this TPO.
The TPO is in the past. This is the same time frame.
No,
it's
that's,
not.
it is not.
Please move on to the next question.
Do you still stand by that this is an accurate reflection of that video?
That's the email that he sent. I got it. I've read it. I promise.
All right, well, you slammed the door on us. Did that happen?
Ma'am, I've read the email. That's the email he sent.
I'm not allowed to ask him questions?
Are you going to ask him to confirm everything that it says that he wrote the email. Sir, did you write this email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there you go. You don't have to ask him about that email.
I'm going to ask him then, did you hear me, as you say here, yell at a child, "Get out, kid," and then push that child out the front door. Is that what you?
Your Honor, it's not relevant whether she pushed a child or not in March of 2020.
It is relevant as to he is making accounts. He is
He hasn't alleged anything in
recounting
that regard.
just as he's recounting events here.
He hasn't alleged anything in that regard nor testified about anything in that regard.
I say it has to do with his credibility. He is explaining events that we have to take his word for. Here we actually have a video and how he describes it.
Yeah, my objection is made.
And
Let's
I
move
want
on
to
then.
know.
I have made notes about the email. I've got it.
I don't think you get it. I want to know if he actually remembers it. Remember, I said that he was
Hold on a second.
intoxicated.
Sir, do you remember sending this email? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Is it-
does he remember it this way?
He remembers it. He remembers it. Cartoon figures, stick figures,
I have
anime.
no idea. Do you
Sir,
remember me pushing
No,
the
no,
child?
stop, Miss Porter. Stop. This horse is dead. You have beat it to death. I see the email. He wrote it. I've read it. Made notes about
That
it.
is absolutely not an issue. I am asking if he remembers.
You have. He remembers writing this email.
But was it true or not?
Oh, dear God.
I can't understand why y'all are behaving this way, as if it has
I'm
nothing to do.
behaving this way because I've got it. I've entered it into evidence. He wrote it. That's it. He wrote it. What are you going to be? He's going to write a lie? He wrote it. I'm taking it for that he wrote this.
No, I want to
Ms.
know,
Porter, please ask the next question.
were you intoxicated that night?
No,
Was your friend intoxicated?
no,
Had you been drinking at all?
no,
Had you been using any sort of drugs, prescription or otherwise, that would affect your cognition or memory?
no,
When you when you say that you were going to have me arrested for the child abuse that you claim you saw sober, was that a threat, or was that
No,
a
I
real
object.
threat that you felt you had to act upon?
The video had no such conversation in it.
Ma'am,
Yeah, the email does.
Ms. Porter, the video spoke for itself. I took notes. I didn't hear that. Ask the next question.
No, the email says he's going to press charges for child abuse.
I saw that. There you go. Next question.
So, are you aware that I've been speaking with Wyatt, social worker at his new school?
that is what you told me, so I have to go by your word. I'm not verified with her.
When did I tell you that?
You just mentioned in your text message. But she's not here, so I can't speak for her.
Well, I was not notified that there's already pending litigation that he's trying to litigate it twice. Do I have to pay to defend myself twice? I have an
No.
attorney for the other one.
Okay,
I would have shown up with that
I'll
evidence.
tell you what. Please move on to the next question. How would he know if you're talking to the
Well,
the,
I'm being punished because I didn't call her as a witness. She's
no,
called.
ma'am, you're not being punished for
Is
anything.
he really allowed, or is he allowed
See
to?
what? You know what, ma'am?
No,
Ms.
I'm
Clark,
asking a question. I'm asking a question, please.
How would he know who you're talking to?
What, I am asking you a question. This issue with the school is being litigated in a separate matter. Is that not correct, Mr. Shaw?
We filed a custody modification and that will be relevant in that proceeding, yes.
Is that not specifically noted as the basis?
No, there's multiple bases for the modification, including your mental health and well-being.
is that, please answer the question, yes or no. Is that noted as a basis?
It's a fact. It's an element of the claim.
That doesn't exhaust anyone? So it's an element of the claim. So I have to defend that claim here, and I have to defend that claim there. Yet no claim was shown to me that this was going to be litigated today. I am already waiting.
Ma'am, it's honestly not unless you're bringing it up. You've heard the allegations.
That was the only thing he talked about.
If you
That was the only thing he talked about. That was all the evidence.
Okay, do you have any more questions for him?
Yes, what is the basis for your claim here, Shailesh Manjunath? Why do you need a restraining order?
Answer the question, sir.
Yeah, because every time I send my child and not get him back, and when the Florida incident happened, you took him out of state and withheld him for 10 days beyond your stipulated parenting time. And also, like on the second incident, when it happened, you kept him, and despite knowing where his school is and me sending you the details of the school, you did not take him to school for 5 days and kept him at home.
Ms. Porter, I believe you have also put in the last 3 that you're going to take him out, your child out of the country. And in the breakout room, Ms. Millard said that you said that something about you were going to leave with a child.
I said I have a humanitarian visa, and I expressed that that is legal.
Okay, stop. I got a couple questions for you. What? What's your humanitarian visa? What? Explain that.
I've sent you
No,
information.
The court does not look at anything ex parte. Explain to me your humanitarian visa.
All right. I've got 9 pages.
No, explain it to me. What's your humanitarian visa?
I don't know what that means.
What is it?
What do you mean? What is it?
Okay.
So when a country, for instance, I already have been recognized as a persecuted individual. So now I want my family, Wyatt, he has been recognized. I'm negotiating, and they have offered me a humanitarian visa because it has a narrative.
So who has done this? Tell me who has recognized.
That's confidential.
No, if you got, I'm asking you.
Are you kidding me? So the protection is from this court, and it's not from you. It's not from you. I think that.
Who is it that has given you some sort of protection? What country? I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Wyatt and my family.
Okay.
Getting a humanitarian visa.
From whom? That's right. Whom? There are several countries that
you understand. I understand where you're coming from, but if this county is already being represented in that court, so
wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, explain that to me. I'm really trying to understand. This state is being represented in a what court?
It's complicated because of Brexit, so I technically have 2. I have obviously been offered asylum in Moscow, but that's only if it's necessary. Okay, I think that.
Okay. So you've been offered asylum in Russia. Yes or no?
I said I have also been offered asylum in Russia. The humanitarian visas are for my children. They are legal. They are legal. And Shane has had an opportunity to argue, and he has lost it.
Okay, hold on, I'm trying to figure out. So which court are you arguing this in? I guess what I'm trying.
It's more of you would call it an administrative tribunal. You know exactly what humanitarian visas.
No, ma'am, I'm asking you, Ms. Porter, because I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Are you in front of an immigration judge?
No, I'm not. I was So the district DA, Judge Whitaker.
No, Judge,
Um,
okay, hold on. Judge Whitaker is not a DA. That is a judge.
She's the deputy DA. She
No.
was.
That was, she
I-
worked in the appellate.
I was sexually assaulted by a police officer and a man named Jackson Alley. Judge Whitaker framed the police officer for the assault. I was actually assaulted by both. Then I experienced a series of I will read it then. You asked about it, you're gonna get it.
I mean, I'm just,
Then Shane got with the rapist, Jackson Alley, who took a plea deal, and then he litigated it in front of Judge Whitaker. Judge Whitaker had already had to cover it up once. She was
Wait,
terrified to
what
do
are
it
you talking-
again.
what are you talking about? Cover it up. Explain that to me. I'm trying to.
She framed a police officer for my rape, and it wasn't him, but it was expedient. I will have to read it to you.
Okay, that's fine. So
Am
tell
I-
me what,
can I present it?
what is it you're wanting to show?
You're
Unfor-
asking me.
Are you wanting to show an order, a petition, an email? What is it you want to show?
You said, what's the basis?
No, you said you want to show something. So what is it you want to show me? A text, an email,
It was an affidavit.
an affidavit? Okay, who's this affidavit from?
This was for me. I was trying to explain to the court what a humanitarian visa is.
Okay, sure, go ahead, share it.
And I repeatedly say through this
Go ahead,
affidavit,
go ahead.
which I have given Marcy, I
Feel free to
repeatedly say.
Feel free, share it. Go ahead.
Mr. Manjana, do you know who Jackson Alley is?
It's not sharing yet, Miss Porter. Can you? I just see you.
Mhm.
All right, how about you? Until you figure it out, how about you move on to the next question?
That was my next question.
Okay, go ahead. You know who that is, sir?
I just know from her telling me just now that was
Yes or
her.
no, and then you can offer an explanation. Do you know who he is? Yes or no?
Yes,
All right, next question.
Have you ever met him?
no,
You've never met
He said
Jackson.
no. Next question.
Have you ever called him as a witness in any of these custody litigations?
no,
Have you ever had your attorney seek him out and have him be called as a witness?
I haven't asked my attorney to do that. If my attorney did that, I do not know. You need to tell me which specific attorney are you talking about.
Did you not submit hundreds of documents from Jackson Alley to the custody evaluator?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. There's no relevance. She's made the accusation that I don't even know who this Jackson Alley is, that Jackson Alley raped her. I called him as a witness to intimidate her. Now she's talking about a custody evaluation.
I have no idea why you're acting like you don't have anything. Why you
Okay,
don't know
now,
this.
look, Ms. Porter, please stick to the issues at hand. This isn't a modification. This is just the very limited scope. Move
But
on.
we're going over the issue of the modification.
We're not talking about the modification. Okay, you're sharing this. Gotcha. Okay, scroll down just a tad. All right, scroll down a little bit.
No,
No,
I'll
well,
read it out loud.
Scroll. No, you're not reading it out loud. I'm reading it. Scroll up. Scroll down some so I can keep reading it. Okay, stop. Okay, scroll up a little bit. Okay, stop. Stop. Hold on.
Can I ask counsel to
Please,
allow that
Ms.
you
Porter,
open it up? I sent
Ms.
it.
Porter, Ms. Porter. Please let me finish reading without you talking. Hold on. All right, scroll up a little bit. No, I'm sorry, but scroll down so I can read it. Next page. All right, stop. Okay, scroll down some more so I'm at where it says arraignment. So where it says arraignment, that can be at the top of the page. All right, there you go, stop. All right, keep going a little bit. Stop at the top where it says moment I found. No, the next page where it says moment I found. There you go. Okay, now stop.
Marcy, I sent this to you. You could read
Hold on one
along.
second. Don't talk while I'm reading. Okay, go where number 8 is at
I
the
just
top.
think it's important. She's been rolling her eyes and people might think that.
Okay, do me a favor. Roll up so that number 8's at the top of the page, because I'm at number 8. Keep going a little bit. There you go. Okay, there you go. Stop. Okay. All right, now go to the next page where it says it's now clear. That can be at the top. All right, thank you, ma'am.
And why I say it's not clear, I mean, of course, that.
No. I just wanted you to go up to the next. All right, let's see. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. I'm reading number 11. Give me a second. I'm reading.
The former DA has issued that statement.
I know who the
I'm-
former
I'm-
DA is, ma'am.
I'm just saying that's not
Okay,
coming
Ms.
from
Porter,
me.
Ms. Porter, I can multitask like nobody's business, but I need you to stop talking while I'm reading, please. All right, go up so that number 12 is at the top of the page. Thank you. All right, can you go up to number 14 is at the top so I can read it, please, ma'am? Thank you so much. If you can go, so number 18 is at the top of the page, ma'am. Thank you. All right, Roman numeral 5, please. Paragraph 19, top, there you go.
Is this being live streamed? Because I had wanted it to not be
I'm
public.
sorry, hold on a sec. It is because it is, it's remote.
Well, I filed it private. This is
All right,
not
you can
to
take
be
it,
disclosed.
you can take it down, ma'am, but I mean, it's gotta be.
That's why I asked you.
Ma'am, it says on there it's being live streamed. This is an open courtroom. Somebody would be sitting in the courtroom reading this. All right, go up so 23 is at the top of the page, please. All right, can you put 26 at the top of the page, please? All right, if you could put 31 at the top of the page, please. Okay, go ahead, because I've read the last sentence on that. So, yeah, put 34 at the top of the page, please.
It was during this time when you allowed Jackson Alley to testify. So obviously it would be difficult for Mr. Manginot to say
Hold
in
on,
front
so
of you.
hold on. Is there a number 38? If we go up, because I finished paragraph 37. Okay, going down. Okay, there you go. Stop. There you go. Right. Yeah, the custody evaluator, stop right there. All right, can you put 39 at the top of the page, please? All right, go down. Keep going. All right. All right, take 44 at the top of the page, please. All right, if you can take 47, paragraph 47 to the top of the page, please. Thank you. Okay, I've read paragraphs Roman numeral 6. Can you go on whatever's after Roman numeral 6?
That's it.
Okay, all right. All right, next question for him.
Do you recall having Jackson?
You can stop the share.
Have you ever been called for any litigation regarding this?
No, you're talking about something that happened in 2008. I met you in 2014, so I
So
do
that's
not
a
know.
no. That's a no. Thank you.
No,
Next
not-
question.
no civil litigation that the state is trying to settle with me.
I do
Regarding
not know- I do not know what you're-
regarding your conduct in the custody and the mistakes you induced.
I do not know what you're talking.
Have you ever testified? Or given a statement, maybe not testified, but given a statement?
I just know that we went through a divorce trial and we filed custody modification last year. We again filed for a custody modification. So whatever you see on the Fulton County Superior Court, the case is open. That's all I'm aware of. And closed.
Next question for him, ma'am.
I'm asking for a continuance. I will bring someone from Chris Carr's office. I believe that this is a serious
Okay, so-
matter and it deserves serious attention. This was sprung on me. And
No, ma'am. We had a new court date set at the last hearing when Miss Millard was appointed as the guardian, which by
yes,
the
but I
way,
did not expect you to unlawfully extend it past the 30 days you are legally allowed.
ma'am, you were served. There's an affidavit by there's a service affidavit filed by the sheriff's office. We started it. I am allowed to continue it once we've started the hearing. Move on beyond that. Do you have another question for him?
I repeatedly asked if I can have a continuance.
Denied. Do you have another question for him?
Why did he get one?
Y'all only got one so that Miss Millard could do something. Do you have another question for him or do you need to tell me your side of the story, ma'am?
I'm asking you a question, a genuine question. Are you allowed to take judicial notice? You said that I was served August 8th? With what?
Would have been August 17th.
August 17th, ma'am.
With what?
The TPO, ma'am, the ex parte, the petition and the order. Do you have another question for him, or would you like to testify on your own behalf?
No, I'm asking you, what?
Ma'am, you don't get to ask me questions, but you were served on August the 17th.
Okay, is Ms. Marcy, is she appointed through the modification?
She's appointed through here and the modification. Do you have another question?
Yes, may I have a copy of the order? I haven't received it. That is my question. I haven't received it.
Ms.
So-
Millard, send her a copy of the order. Next question. Do you have another question for him? You have another question for him? Because it's rolling into 5:07. So do you have another question for him, ma'am?
I'm trying to put it up.
Okay, no, ask him a question.
No, I mean, I'm
No,
trying to
ask him a question.
Okay, did you change? All right, so it seemed like your attorney made the admission that you moved without giving any notice.
Ma'am, I don't care. Take that up in front of the judge that's handling the modification, because I'm not handling that.
Then
Who's
what?
Ms.
Then-
Millard, hold on.
Then
Ms.
what
Millard,
is?
Stop, Ms. Millard. Who's handling the modification?
Judge Ellerby.
Have I been served in that?
I don't know. I'm not Judge Ellerby.
I'm asking Marcy.
Wicked skinny, and she has brown hair, not all this salt and pepper. We look completely different. You would never mistake me for, I'm mistaken for Judge Angela Duncan, but not her, not Judge Ellerby, that's for sure. So please ask your next question.
I believe I had a question on the floor.
That's about the modification and something in Judge Ellerby's courtroom. I would not, nobody on here can answer what's going on in Judge Ellerby's courtroom except Judge Ellerby.
Can someone?
Ma'am,
It was about.
Ma'am, I am
No,
begging.
no, please. Those text messages. I'm trying to ask him a question. Can I ask him a question?
No, ma'am. I'm muting you because you keep talking over me. I have given you so much leeway. You're talking about stuff that is not relevant. Mr. Shaw, I don't know, has kept his mouth shut. And I've litigated against Mr. Shaw, and he stands up every time I used to open my mouth in court. He stands up, waves his arms, makes a big deal out of me talking. So I've litigated against him. I know he has sat there quietly, which I'm really impressed with. I've litigated against Miss Millard, who used to jump up and down every time I opened my mouth too. They both made a huge deal, like Alex Manning didn't know what she was talking about. Sometimes they were right, sometimes they were wrong. Now, I want you to stick to the issues at hand. Judge Ellerby can handle everything else, but Miss Porter, let me warn you. I'm really being patient here. Judge Ellerby is patient, but she likes you to get to the point. And you were on, what was the name of that? Anybody know the name of that Braves player that time that was late to the game because he couldn't figure out how to get off 285? A long time ago. Remember, he was like looping 285. I couldn't figure out how to get to Fulton County Stadium, which no longer exists. But you're on 285 and you can't figure out how to get off. I need you on the connector. I never, ever get on 285. I stay on the connector straight up and down town. I need you back on the connector. Do you have another relevant question for Mr. Shaw's client? You're on mute. I muted you because you're talking over me. Take yourself off mute and tell me if you have a relevant question. Because if not, Ms. Porter, I need to hear your side because we're not going all night.
Yes, my question I was in the middle of asking is, have you asked for monetary damages in this TPO? For pain and suffering?
No, there's no such thing. Next question.
I asked him if he asked for that.
I'm telling you, there is absolutely no such thing.
That doesn't answer my question.
I'm telling you, there's no such thing. So if he asked for it, he wasn't it. There is no such thing as pain and suffering.
So were the Florida texts about pain and suffering?
I don't care about what happens in Florida. I don't care. Please move on.
Were any of these texts that you showed today about anything other than Florida?
Answer the question.
Also, yes, it's more than Florida. There have been 2 instances. Second instance where you again.
No, I asked about the text that you showed.
Ma'am, he's answering your question. Here's the thing we learn in law school. You ask a question, you may not like the answer. That's why we're taught in law school day 1. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to. I've done it. I'm sure Mr. Shaw's done it if he'll admit it. And I bet Ms. Millard's done it.
Yes,
That's the question
he said earlier that they were all in Florida.
Ms. Porter, you're in Georgia. Please focus and ask him a relevant question. Please, I am begging you, Ms. Porter, to ask him a relevant question.
Shailesh, were any of those texts about Florida?
All right, Your Honor, I'm just going to pipe up here. The text speak for themselves. Some were from Florida and some were from Georgia.
All right, that was not clear at all. They all appear to be from Florida.
I don't care. I've read it. I don't care if they were sent from
And
Moscow.
in fact, you said they were in Florida.
Ms. Porter, I don't care if they were sent from Moscow. Their
You just
text.
said this is Georgia. Only talk about Georgia.
Ms. Porter. I've read them. I've considered them. Please move on to your next question. I don't care if he sent them from Zimbabwe.
But don't you see it's important for me to understand his argument? I don't even know what state he's talking about. Do you not agree?
Georgia. That's all I care about is Georgia. I'm not a lawyer in Florida. I'm not born in Florida. Stick to Georgia, stick to relevant, and move on. Please ask him your next question.
Are you being investigated by Florida police for calling in the human trafficking violation that got us stranded in Florida?
No,
Have you been questioned?
no.
Sorry, maybe I didn't
He
phrase
said
it.
no. Ask him the next question.
Let me be. I'm
No,
sure
he
he
said
answered.
no. Ask him the next question, please.
That wouldn't make any sense. You've not. Then how would you have any information?
He said no.
Yes, my question is then how would you have any information about Florida?
You're the one who wrote me an email saying that you're being investigated. You're the one who sent in a text message that the Florida CPS is investigating you.
Next question, ma'am.
No, I'm talking about the police.
You're the one who sent an email that the police are investigating you.
There you go, ma'am. There's that question you didn't know the answer to. Please ask the next question, Ms. Porter.
The police are investigating me for
Ms. Porter, this is okay. Do you have another question for him? Because if you don't, you can
what are the
testify.
police investigating me for that you claim I told you?
The police, please ask him a question and then you can testify.
No, I am asking a question.
Ma'am, he's not the police. He cannot answer that question. Move on.
I am asking him.
He doesn't know why the police know why
He
they're.
claims that I told him. I am asking him what specifically I told him that made him come to that conclusion.
Go ahead, sir.
I don't understand what Florida has to do with the basis of the TPO.
Stop, sir. Answer the question.
Yeah. So you are the one who told me you're being investigated by the Florida Sheriff Department as well as the CPS, and then we have tendered the evidence, the Osceola County Police report. So everything is in the.
I didn't see that. I apologize. Can I see that?
Your Honor, I object any such.
No, ma'am, ask him the next question.
I can't see that evidence.
He said you told him or you, please, ma'am, ask him the next.
He said he tendered it. He said he
Miss
tendered it.
Porter, Miss Porter, please ask him a relevant, you know what, Miss Porter, tell me your side. Tell me what's going on. Tell me your side. I'm really, you've got me curious.
I'm not quite sure exactly what the underlining basis for the TPO is, to be very honest. Mr. Shaw said he was not scared. He said it's only about Wyatt missing school. That is what he said. And whether I'm allowed to record things or not, in your opinion, that is what he will be held accountable to. You can't, we're not making fiction here. So I'm trying to understand what this basis is. What I have, if I'm to defend myself, what am I defending myself against? He said it was school. So where should I put my
Okay, so
time?
Ms. Porter, let me fill you in. You were served a copy of the petition in the order. You read it. You read it. Respond to that. Go.
Okay. So the copy of the petition mentions nothing about school. So do I still have to address it?
Address what you'd like, ma'am. Go. Go. Do you want to talk about him being in school? Go. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Mr. Manjanat.
No. Testify. Testify. Go ahead. I want to hear your side of this.
My sentence begins with the words, Mr. Manjanat.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Manjanat abruptly moved, and without telling me, this is well documented, and I expected that this claim already being filed and parallelly litigated in the same court had a different scheduled hearing, and I don't have that information. He in the final court decree, he states that he gets the first week of school before school. That he exercised that for Grant Park neighborhood school. However, without telling me or Grant Park neighborhood school, he enrolled him and moved an hour away from me. And the school was not aware, and the nurse was not aware either. When Mr. Manjanat's new school, which is in Sandy Springs, when Wyatt's new school, it started a week after the Grant Park school. So he thought that he gets 2 weeks, even though Wyatt didn't go to the Grant Park school. So he's done this before. I didn't get any notice that he moved. And the school, the counselor who was a social worker,
Right.
Mr. Manjanat, shared the TPO. I did not know about it. And she asked me to stay at home because it was a complicated situation and she didn't know what to do. And I didn't know what to do. Mr. Shaw has been sanctioned before for having papers delivered to Shane's address and then claimed they were served there. That was actually the last modification. He has been told time and time again, it's pending appeal. You cannot file a modification. He is awaiting to see if the judge is going to award him more sanctions for filing that appeal when there's no clear jurisdiction. There will be no modification. That's what I was trying to explain when I was talking to Marcy. He has been told this is the third time he's tried to file modifications. It is still pending appeal. That has to do with the pending litigation that you were seeing on the first trial, which is being investigated. And I am trying to negotiate an ending to that. And just everyone wants an ending to that. And that's it. You know, I deserve restitution. Judge Whitaker has acknowledged she should have recused herself. The judgment is going to be voided. I mean, as acknowledged confidentially, I shouldn't have said that. I forgot this is public. As part of negotiations. I mean, some of this I can't talk about, but she should have, it's going to be void. And Shaw knows it. He's been given a heads up. Shane certainly knows it. And if you, the orders, I have gotten, I think it's 10 emergency custody orders in TPOs in the last 2 years. He's won none of them, but it's deprived me of
Your
my son.
Honor, I understand you.
Okay. Oh, you can interrupt.
but
Already. Am I testifying?
I'm making an objection, and that we have to listen to a narrative, that's fine, but none of this is relevant to a TPO proceeding.
Ms. Porter, how is this relevant?
Which part? Because as he said, I spoke for a long time. Is it not relevant that the school that he served the school, and then the school told me that the paperwork they have says I'm not allowed on their property? Is that relevant?
No.
That is not.
It is not relevant. No, it is not relevant, ma'am. If the school has a TPO, they're merely enforcing it. Next.
Yes, but by telling me not to bring Wyatt to school, is that relevant? Am I not being accused of withholding Wyatt from school? I could have sworn I was.
So get to that, ma'am. Keep going. Go ahead. Let's go. It's 5:23, ma'am.
Get to that. That's what I said. Mr. Monjanot has stated on the protective order, the temporary protective order, incorrectly, that he lives at 756 Ormwood Avenue. He doesn't. That shows that he has lied about his address to me in order.
Don't care about that. Take that up in the modification.
What? Please, can I finish? In order for him to make me believe that Wyatt still goes to the Grant Park School. Instead, he moved him an hour away. The first day, I was told on Wyatt's first day that I had to take him to school an hour away.
At this point, I'm objecting to the hearsay. I've let it in, but at this point,
I can't.
Mr. Montanot's here. It's not hearsay.
No, you're trying to tell me what the counselor said. Can't hear it.
No. I am saying what Mr. Montanot said.
Were you there?
He was speaking to me.
No, I wasn't there.
Mr. Monjanot did not tell me that Wyatt had moved and changed schools an hour away into the very day that he was to attend. And if it is hearsay, and this is not an issue that it was originally brought up, and in fact, at the last conference, he said that he was not going to bring this up. And if you call it a hearing, well, then my goodness, that's on the record.
Ms. Porter,
he was not going to bring it up, and if he was saving that for the modification.
Talk about things that
I should be able
day.
to.
I have been listening to you. I just want you to respond to the allegations. Once you've responded, move to the next thing. Please, Ms. Porter.
So the allegations are that. So as far as the Georgia thing, it's my understanding that that was him believing that he could take the 2 weeks. Do you understand that? So you have to.
Smarter than I sound, Ms. Porter. I can promise you I'm smarter than I sound.
I didn't understand that.
I am smarter than I sound. I promise you, and smarter than I look.
I'm speaking about the final order. Do you have that?
Ask me if I understand something. Yes, ma'am, I do. I passed law school and the bar. I could read. I get it. Please, please, please.
I'm not sure how that has to do with me being an effective.
You're just asking if I
communicator.
understood something.
Yes, that I said. I'm asking about if I'm being effective. Am I being smart? Please don't take it personally.
Anything else?
Am I effectively communicating it to you? That's all I wanted to know.
Is
you
there
don't
anything else? Is there
Or
anything?
I'll just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. I mean, I don't know. I can't win with you.
Ma'am, this has nothing to do with winning. This has something to do with stating your case, him stating his case, and then it's the end of the case. So is there anything else you would like to tell me?
So in the final order, it says that he gets it the week before. He gets Wyatt the week before school. Because he withheld his address and that he had moved and then wouldn't be eligible for ANCS. And he was in Sandy Springs. He still took that week. So that was a week he withheld from me. Then the next week, he withheld Wyatt again because the school started a week after each other. And then he said he's going to, he doesn't go here. And then he told me a different school that Wyatt went to.
Right.
So if this is litigated here, will it have to be litigated in the modification?
I can't tell you what Judge Eloise wants to hear. Judge Eloise going to want to hear what she wants to hear. But right now,
So I have I'll address the Florida accusations. I'm unclear,
okay, so hold on a second. You know, you remind me of, I don't know if you ever heard this guy, Steve Shoemaker likes to go off on these tangents that aren't relevant. He likes to go up on these Colorado tangents. I'm like, Mr. Shoemaker, I'm not a judge in Colorado. I'm a judge in Georgia. So listen, all right? You kept the child.
His application for TPO is all about Florida. Do I have to address them?
I tell you what, Ms. Porter, do me a favor. Tell me about this thing. Here, let me bring you to something that concerns me more than anything I've heard today. Is this statement you made when you, Mr. Shaw, and Ms. Millard were in the breakout room? Address that.
Do you have the chat records from the last?
Well, once I delete it, once the hearing's over, it's deleted, it's gone. Tell me what you,
I said what I've consistently said to you and filed in court is that I have a humanitarian visa. Ms. Millard, it reflects very poorly on her, and I'm afraid that she's and I are not going to work very well together. She's blatantly lying. You cannot get asylum unless you are in that country. That is actually impossible.
But ma'am,
So-
you said you have asylum in Russia, and right now, American citizens are allowed to travel to Russia.
That's you're
I'm wrong?
yes, I'm talking about Wyatt. I have citizenship because of the EU.
You have citizenship. Where do you have dual citizenship? Russia?
No, but Yuri does. But
Where? I didn't hear you. Where's your dual citizenship?
I have citizen rights when in England and Ireland, so that's technically the EU.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
you have-
negotiating between both countries.
Hold on.
When we came here
No,
as
hold on. I got a question. You have triple citizenship. You're a citizen in England, Ireland, and the United States.
no, it wasn't. You understand what Brexit is, right?
Are you a citizen in England, Ireland, and the United States?
I require no visa for any country in the EU or England. We're refugees from Northern Ireland. It's a complicated legal fiction.
It's not that complicated, ma'am.
Oh.
You just don't believe I'm smarter than I sound. Anything else that's relevant to this TPO?
I don't see how that's relevant to the TPO.
Well, you're the one telling me you have triple citizenship.
No, I did not. I absolutely did not. I said I don't require a visa and I have citizen rights. I have been asked to move my dual citizenship to England. I am in the process of that. So I basically don't have an answer exactly where I'm in the process of it. That's neither here nor there. I don't really understand how that's relevant. That's certainly something that.
Ma'am, you're the one that told me you had asylum and you were going to Moscow.
Jesus Christ. I did not say that. I denied it. How many times can I deny something that I said that?
Anything else is relevant, ma'am?
Do you understand? I have denied it. What I have said is if I were to say to Marcy, I have asylum, that would be a threat like I'm going to Moscow. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Thank you. Anything else you need to tell me?
A humanitarian visa is legal and the United States would allow it. It is therefore not kidnapping. That's improper, very improper that was phrased that way. And I think you're in. I've been accused of several felonies without evidence.
Do you have anything else that you want to tell me?
Yes, you've asked me to defend the TPO, but I feel like there's conflicting information as far as most of all of those text messages are from Florida or supposedly about Florida.
All right. Mr. Shaw, do you have any questions?
I just, she's violated the TPO since it's been in place. I'll ask her about that quickly. Have you not contacted the closing attorney for Mr. Manginet's new home and filed a lis pendens against it, claiming there's still a divorce action open?
The only lis pendens I'm aware of in the divorce is from February of 2 years ago.
Did you not contact the closing attorneys that are working on the sale or the purchase of Mr. Manginet's home?
I did not, and I would not know.
Okay, then let me ask you this. Did not your boyfriend, what is his name again? What is your boyfriend's name again?
Yuri?
Yuri. Did you not send him to talk with the buyers of my client's home to tell them that he has a criminal record and that they'll be in trouble?
Absolutely not. That is absurd. You are ridiculous.
All right, and did you not claim that Mr. Manginet threatened your life by phone today or yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Do you have a record of
No,
any of those
I did not. I said he threatened to kill Wyatt.
Oh, now it was threatening to kill Wyatt now is the story?
That's what I said.
All right, I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Millard, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I would ask the court to address the payments of my retainer since Ms. Porter has not paid anything yet.
All right, Ms. Porter, when do you intend on paying Ms. Millard? Because not only am I addressing it, but Judge Ellerby is going to address it.
Okay, I don't think I've been served with this Ellerby thing. And everything that you're telling me, I don't know anything about. I just don't. Have I been served with an order? I don't see in your case that any order was released. So I've not been served. I literally have not gotten it. Can you at least understand that? The modification I have not been served with.
All right, so Ms. Millard has sent you a copy of the order. When do you intend on paying your portion of the guardian fees, ma'am?
I will likely file, I have an attorney. This is for the other case. So is that correct?
No, she's in here because I didn't want to bring the child in here and in the modification. So that way she doesn't have, do double work. She's done it. She'll report to Judge Obi. When do you plan on paying her?
I'll likely appeal this. I'll likely appeal it. I'll have my attorney. I'm just getting this order. I haven't read it. Yeah, I think that that's reasonable. What is she owed? I haven't gotten a bill. I don't understand.
There's an initial retainer. When?
What is it? How much is it? No one has contacted me. I've not been, you just gave me an order.
Your Honor, she was served via Odyssey on 9/2 at 3:21 p.m. She's a service contact.
There you go.
TPO.
Okay,
So when you're in, you get an email every time something's filed. So you were served with it because it shows in Odyssey that you received it.
I didn't see it. I'll have to, I checked Odyssey.
When something comes to you, you gotta check, you gotta open it.
Of course I open it.
Okay, well, it was sent to you. Is there, what's her half of the retainer, Ms. Malone?
$1,750.
All right, it's $1,750. When do you expect to pay Ms. Malone?
I'll ask my attorney.
Is your attorney gonna pay Ms. Malone?
Brad McDonald is my attorney. And I am quite sure that he's okay with me asking him questions as to give you a legal answer on what to advise. Can I not get advice from my attorney? Am I not allowed to do that? I mean, if I'm represented but not here, is it fair or not fair that if this is supposedly has to do with two cases, that you're asking me questions without my attorney?
Okay, I'm not sure I'm following that. This is almost like following Mr. O'Hagan.
I have not been served. I have not been served with the modification.
Okay, so stand by. Okay. Ooh, like Mr. O'Hagan gets banned from social media every time he opens his mouth. So stand by. Have you retained Mr. McDonald? Is he on a retainer for anything?
Yes.
What's he on a
currently
retainer?
represents me against the last modification that Mr. Shaw still has open.
Okay, so the modification now.
No,
Have you
there's
given-
two. There's two. Shaw has filed two.
Okay, so this one that's filed now, that starts with a 22. Have you given Mr. McDonald money for this case, that case?
I have not been served with that case.
No, that's not my question is, have you given Mr. McDonald money?
How can I give him money if I haven't been served?
Ms. Porter, you said he represents you. I
Yes,
know.
in the modification case. Please, we have two modification cases. Do you open? And he represents me. You asked me, do I have him on retainer? Yes.
Why isn't Mr. McDonald here today?
Well, he told me that you're not supposed to, we've argued this. This is the third time
Yep.
that we've argued this in front of you.
Mr. McDonald told you I wasn't supposed to do something?
Mr. McDonald argued this with you a few months ago, the same issue. You're not allowed to hear it.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Okay, first of all,
Do you want me to read the order that you signed?
would you like for me to tell you, since January 2018, I have touched over 12,000 cases for domestic violence. So if I don't remember Mr. McDonald or you in a previous case, that's actually good, because I don't carry any prejudices from former cases. So have you hired Mr. McDonald in, have you actively retained him in anything?
The
Because
question-
everything that I see on Odyssey, which is the case, which is the software for Fulton County, everything with the exception of this and the modification is filed in front of Judge Ellerby is closed.
No, so he's filed a motion inside that closed case to have it set aside and have the other motion. Look, just look in it. It's his response brief, okay? He put it in a response brief. So they're going to be merged. So he's just created a legal tangle. He's trying to pretend like he doesn't know that it's a strange, convoluted thing. If you look in his reply brief, he has asked actually for the judgment given in that modification to be set aside. That hasn't been heard. Brad McDonald represents me in that. Now,
Do you have anything else that's relevant to this TPO to say?
yes, I object. This should have been heard in 30 days, as you've previously ruled, and is Georgia law.
And it was heard. Next, what else?
When was it heard? I don't understand.
It was heard and it was continued. Next, Ms. Porter. Keep going. What else?
One second.
What are you reading, Ms. Porter? If somebody is texting you,
I'm reading something from Mr. McDonald. Can you please, no one expected you to be acting this way.
Hold on. Mr. McDonald is texting you right now and telling you what to say.
No, I didn't say he was texting me. I'm going back to an email.
I don't care about an old case. I don't care about Mr. McDonald.
It's not about an old case.
I
What are
don't
you
care
talking about? What are
Ms.
you?
Porter,
I
what
don't say
care
these
about
things.
is this case right now. Is there anything else that you need to say about this case? Leave Mr. McDonald out of it. Leave O'Hagan, Shoemaker. Who else?
You
Will
accused me of texting someone. I am explaining to you.
tell me if there's anything else that you need to say regarding this specific case.
I've asked for a moment to read an email. May I have that?
You got 1 minute, Miss Porter. That's it. 1 minute and I'm rolling.
I would like to ask the court if the TPO is regarding Wyatt and Shane.
It's only about Wyatt. and himself.
Is Shalish Manjanati, is he being dropped?
It's about the child. It's on behalf of the child. All right, Ms. Porter, anything else?
1 second. I did file a response. I just don't see it online.
A response to what, ma'am?
An answer to the
To
motion.
this? To the TPO?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, there's not one file. I don't think. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It's pulling up. What? Okay, so tell me what your point is. Anything else you want to tell me?
What was pulling up? I didn't understand that.
Anything else you would like to tell me?
1 second. Let me check.
There is nothing else that you filed. Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Can I complete what I was saying about the human trafficking? Am I being accused of harming the children?
Ms. Porter. You were
If
served a
so, then I need a
Porter.
defense.
Porter. You were served a copy of the TPO. You've had a chance to read it. You've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Millard, which you were supposed to pay her. You didn't. You will pay her within 15 days. You neglected to do both. You've called Ms. Millard a liar. Whatever you said about Mr. Shaw, liar, whatever, you said bad things about Mr. Shaw. You probably said bad things about me because when I said I'm taking a break, you kept chatting, you kept screaming and arguing with Mr. Shaw.
Sorry?
So is there, I guess that didn't happen. Is there anything else that's relevant that you would like to tell me? In closing, go. You got 3 minutes. It's 5:47, and there's nothing that requires me to go beyond 5 o'clock. Go. Anything else? You got 3 minutes. Go.
Well, the only thing that is on the TPO is speaking about Florida. I'm going to take your word for it. You say that Florida is not relevant. Of course, I deny, and there's been no evidence said no one has actually accused me of harming Wyatt, presented injuries, said that I harmed Wyatt. And I think that I'm not sure. Mr. Shaw said 3 times before this court that I pose no risk to Wyatt and you're not worried about his welfare. I got it recorded. You're gonna be accountable for it.
Who, me?
Yeah. You gotta hear the things that happen.
Gotcha. I've heard it. If you've recorded this hearing, ma'am, you will be in my courtroom and we will have a hearing because I have not signed a Rule 22, meaning do not record. And when you join this meeting, there's a little blurb about Rule 22 and how not a Rule 20, unless a Rule 22 is signed by me, you can't record. That means you could go to jail. So govern yourself accordingly, ma'am. I know what I'm doing. I've listened. I've paid attention. I'm taking notes. Thank you. Mr. Shaw, anything. 30 seconds, Mr. Shaw.
Yeah, we've made her case. She committed the felony of interstate custody interference.
I'm sorry, I object. There's been no case about
Thank
a
you.
felony.
Anything you want to say, Ms. Millard? Anything you want to say, Ms. Millard?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I am putting this in place for 12 months, ma'am. I'm asking that you do a psych eval and that you follow all recommendations. You're also going to take the FVIP class, Family Violence Intervention Program. You will comply with my orders. You will take that psych eval. A copy of this order is going to be sent to Judge Ellerby. Ms. Millard, make sure Judge Ellerby gets this. You will take the psych eval and follow recommendations. You will be given a compliance hearing, ma'am, and you will show up. Because when you're not complying, every time you do, I can have a hearing on contempt and you can be incarcerated. Ma'am, you've got to pull yourself together for this poor little boy. This little boy is what matters. Miss Millard doesn't matter. You don't matter. Dad doesn't matter. Mr. Shaw doesn't matter. I don't even matter. This little boy is what I'm worried about. And ma'am, you are all over the place. The court's going to get a copy of this psych eval. I'm actually going to pass on that psych eval to Miss Millard and to Judge Ellerby's chambers so that she can look at it in this modification. And ma'am, feel free. Tell Brad McDonald to email court. If you've retained him in that case, I'll send it to him. I'll send it to Mick Hill. I'll send it to Meriwether and Thorpe. I'll send it to anybody you want to. But let me warn you one thing, Miss Porter.
You send what email? Sorry.
I have put up with your disrespect for this court for probably 3 hours now. 3 hours I've put up with this, ma'am. Don't put up with this. Ever. At my house, I'm not the boss. My spouse is the boss. I can't do what I want. I gotta ask permission. But here, in this courtroom, I'm in charge. If you ever speak to me like you've spoke to me before. Not follow my orders. I'm going to bring you into the courthouse for a live hearing. And one of the penalties is that we're going to hear contempt. You can pay a fine. You can be incarcerated. Ma'am, pull yourself together. You may not respect me, and I don't care. You don't have to respect me personally. You will respect this position that I have earned, no matter what anybody thinks. I've earned this spot. I've been doing things since January the 1st, 2018. 12,000 of them I've touched, ma'am. 12,000. You will never speak to me in this position that I'm holding as you've done today. I would give this speech to him. I would give it to Mr. Shaw. I would give it to Miss Millard, anybody else who was on here. Don't you ever speak to this bench the way you've done. And I will warn you, you call Mr. McDonald. Do not speak to Judge Ellerby like this or any other judge. I don't know what's wrong with people today. No idea. But this, you're going to show some respect. I've earned it. Maybe not in your eyes, but I promise you I've earned it. And the only thing I care about right this minute in this case is this little boy. That's all I care about. Not you, not him, not Sean, not Millard, not anybody else. Because right now, ma'am, if we were live in my courtroom, I would have put you in jail 2 hours ago by the way you're talking to me. But you know what? I have held on to my patience. There'd probably be some people that are impressed with the fact that I've held on to my patience, because I have, because I wanted you to be heard. You've been heard, ma'am. I read your affidavit. I've considered your evidence. I've listened to your testimony. I've watched your videos. Pull yourself together, ma'am. This is going to be put in place for 12 months. You are to have absolutely zero contact with that child. I will leave this in the hands of Judge Ellerby. If Judge Ellerby wants to modify this, Judge Ellerby can. Ms. Porter, I suggest you cooperate with Ms. Millard. Pay her. You got 15 days to pay her retainer. Ma'am, you think I'm playing? Try me. Because the most important thing right now is this child. That's it, this child. This child is all that matters to me. This child is going to be safe, not going to be taken to Russia or anywhere else. Believe it or not, Miss Free left for the evening. I'm not sure why she did, but she did. So, Mr. Shaw, Ms. Shaw, do you want to draft it? Do you want to wait so Miss Free can draft it? Do you have a word of the order? I can send it to Miss Free, and maybe
I'll draft it. I also just want to include that she won't, but it should be part of it just to make clear she's not to contact any business associates and such, like with the house issue that came up as well.
Absolutely. And reserve attorney's fees, I guess, for Judge Ellerby.
I object. I'm sorry, if we have business together and if it's about a Liz pendant from February 2019 or business associates, I don't understand. I can't. I certainly can.
You're going to get an order. Putting this in place for 12 months. Mr. Shaw, why don't you put that they're to communicate through our family wizard and to give Ms. Millard.
Can I ask for the basis of this?
I have found by preponderance of the evidence that family violence has happened in the past, and there's a reasonable likelihood that it's going to happen in the future. Ms. Millard, so Mr. Shaw, if you put on there that they're going to communicate through our family wizard, and Ms. Millard will have access to all of that.
Right.
But there was no evidence presented of violence.
3 people talking at the same time. Are we doing?
There was no evidence presented of violence.
Are we doing a compliance hearing? You mentioned something about that.
I tell you what, if he does that, I will get Ms. Free to send out a date for compliance.
Okay.
So I'll get her to send out one to make sure that you've been paid, one, and that whoever else you hire, Kresge, Sheila Edlin, I don't know, Meriwether and Thorpe, who else, Stern, Montgomery, you name it, ma'am. Brad McDonald. I urge you to hire Brad McDonald.
I have hired him. You just saw that I did. He's been my
No,
attorney for
Ma'am,
several
you
years.
recommend This one, I urge you to do that. And that will be the order of this court. Mr. Shaw, send it to me.
I will do so. Also a question, is the recording available for me to obtain a copy of it for the hearing?
No, this isn't official. The stream, it's all taken down and deleted. But I'm sure
Okay.
if you want to subpoena her, since she's recorded, you probably want to use that in a hearing if there's any kind of contempt filed that she has violated Rule 22, because I have not signed an order for anybody to record this hearing. Mr. Shaw, did you read when you first came in the waiting room? There's a little blurb there.
Yeah, I've noticed that that's unique to your courtroom and it's
And what does that
unmistakable.
talk about?
Oh, that's interesting. It's unique to your courtroom.
It says do not record and you cannot miss it. It's like
Does
do
it
not
quote
smoke.
anything from like Rule
I don't see it at all.
Right
in the
above
waiting room? Was there a
right
blurb
above-
from Rule 22 statute?
Yes,
See,
and do not record is right above the state of Georgia plaque.
see?
Well, there's not about Mr. Shaw. Focus on me, ma'am. Focus on me.
I'm just saying, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Focus on me. Right there. You do see it. And there is a quote from Rule 22 that is in the waiting room that when you log on to Zoom, it quotes Rule 22 and you don't have an order for me. All right. That's going to be the order of the court. Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Email it to me. Mr. Shaw, I'll have to email it back to you so that you, well, okay, I'll copy Ms. Free and then you respond if you're going to e-file it or you want Ms. Free to e-file. I know she's probably on her way home.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll be working this weekend. I got to catch up anyways and things. So
All right, thanks. This TPO remains in place. Mr. Shaw, if you have to do something down and dirty to get it to me so that I can sign it, please make this a priority so that this can be entered in GCIC. Ms. Porter, you are not to contact that child. Period. Thank you. That's the order of the court. Everybody can leave.
Thanks, Your Honor.